Oh good, my babysitter's here.
Chevy Lumina, it's a car from 1990 and it's quite a looker too. If you like, let's make a deal.
1990 Chevy Lumina, the official car of walking into Unimart in the depths of January and saying, "Can I get a pack of Salem Slims? My mom is just out in the car." I know you're waiting for me to go full negative on this transparent attempt by General Motors to convince your wood panel parents that GM is with it. Cool. Yeah, Days of Thunder! We're getting a satellite dish! And we've arrived once again at the W-body platform, that musty old battle axe that gave us the Buick Regal and the Pontiac Grand Prix. It's the 1980s parking lot platform, the official car of "Keep an eye on your brother while I run inside to the bank. I know it's hot, just roll down a window." This Lumina is on the first-gen W-body, the type of car that, if it was the family vehicle during your childhood, you had no realistic expectation of having it handed down to you as a teenager. The Lumina is expensive engineering encased in a body that isn't nearly as gaudy. And that's because you're not meant to have it for very long. It's the automotive equivalent of the common cold. "My rectum is a national tragedy, so Marky Mark is going to do a movie about it." The Chevy Lumina is the first four-door sedan to be built off the W-body platform, and the idea was to offer a reasonable mid-size sedan that could exist as a middle ground between a family car and a more robust daily driver. I mean, hell, Chevrolet managed to get Disney MGM Studios to classify the Lumina as its official company car in 1990. There were brochures and everything about it. Anyway, for the price of around $13,000, which is roughly $24,000 in 2017, General Motors had every expectation this car would sell. And this particular Lumina is in really good shape. It has 41,000 miles on it. And although it was purchased last March with 33,000 miles on it, and all things being equal, it held up well. It's powered by a 3.1-liter V6, which makes 135 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque. It's got a column-mounted shifter, coilover front suspension, and we got to talk about the rear. Yeah, we're just going to come back to the rear on this. Quick thing about the engine. The difference is the Lumina has the 3.1-liter V6, and do you remember the Buick Century from a few weeks ago? That had a 3.3-liter V6. But the Lumina has a 4-speed automatic where a fourth is overdrive, while the Buick has a 3-speed automatic with no overdrive. So even though the Lumina has less displacement, it can stay in the power band longer, and with a slightly smaller engine, it can rev faster. So the Lumina is faster than a Buick Century. Okay. The rear suspension. Independent rear suspension. Okay, all right, kind of good for 1990, although Civics had these. That was fine. But it still uses a leaf spring. And by that, I mean a leaf spring singular. They built an independent rear suspension using one solid, single fiberglass leaf going across the car. Look at that. The only other car that's known for having this is the Corvette. And you can bet that they paraded this in front of the marketing. It has Corvette-inspired suspension. Yeah, it's the same principle that the Corvette used. Of course, it's not the same part numbers, even though it's the same design. Does it drive like a Corvette? No. I mean, if you didn't tell me that this thing had independent suspension in the back with the weird transverse-mounted singular modular fiberglass leaf spring, I wouldn't have known. Does it handle sporty? Not really. You're too busy hanging on to that thin steering wheel because it's a bench seat in the front, and if you take a corner too fast, you slide away from the steering wheel. Anyway, Aaron bought this Lumina as a commuter car because his Saab was just one big money pit. He was looking for just any sort of Craigslist beater, and he found this. But wouldn't you know it, he started to fall in love with it. So he had the thing detailed. He found new wheel covers. He painted them himself to match the original paint. He started to tap out dents. He really likes this thing. I mean, for one, it's very spacious on the inside. This is again before gigantic A-pillars, so the visibility is amazing out of this thing. The W-body platform was a $7 billion investment for General Motors, initiated by Roger Smith. The guy so notoriously bad at business, he'd probably try to sell pile snow in late January to residents of Lower Heidelberg Township. This car platform was expected to be a big moneymaker, but General Motors lost $2,000 on every unit. So the platform was revised in subsequent years as the W2 car, because why not? It's a platform that basically screams, my taxes are in the mail. The blueprints for the Lumina are from the early 1980s, so the car made sense for the era in which it was originally planned. However, by the time the car came out, it had a 7-year-old design, and you have to compare that with Ford. And when you're competing against Ford, you have to come correct, because the Ford Taurus was a bull. Bad joke. It stampeded everything. The Taurus was the American game-changer car, and the Lumina always played catch-up to that. And even if the Taurus hadn't existed, there was still the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry to deal with. The market was rough for General Motors, and the Lumina didn't really help. It's like trying to compete with Minute Maid orange juice by selling dick-flavored Capri Sun. And not all the quirks about this car were endearing. Cracks developed on the clear coat pretty regularly, which is basically the sign of cheap paint. The battery is encased beneath a structural support brace that you have to remove just to change your battery. And these cars weren't designed for ease of servicing. Between the complicated engine layout and trim pieces that just sort of come off in your hand due to shoddy adhesive. The trunk latch catch is right in the middle of the place where you try to slide suitcases. So your luggage is going to get caught on that thing and rip it up. And what was the #1 rental car for airports in the 90s? Chevy Lumina. Well, that's a nice set of Samsonite you got there. Be a shame if something happened to it. The Lumina also had these huge seams, and General Motors made no attempt to hide them. It gave the car the appearance of a toy assembled by clicking different parts into place. You know, like one of those snap-tight model planes, because your kid's too spastic to deal with rubber cement. Nah, here's a model. Yeah, it just snaps together. No, you don't need... Yeah, just snap it together. The W-body was the platform for cars that took you to the mall to try on clothes with mom. You have to find an outfit for Aunt Margaret's thing, and it's 3 months away. But oh, we have to do it now. And the first size never fits. The universe just can't do you a solid. You have to try on the same wool blazer and itchy trousers for 7 God-loving times before you can go to Electronics Boutique to try to salvage what's left of your Sunday afternoon. But looking back, were those Sundays really all that bad? It's strange because you can never really appreciate those moments in the moment. To be a kid with your parents. To put on a stuffy outfit at Boscov's because it'll put a genuine smile on her face. And those don't come often enough. The Chevy Lumina may not let you physically travel back in time, but the look and feel and even the smell of the Lumina can help you remember 100 different Saturday afternoons from your youth, and each with its own merit. The Chevy Lumina is an automotive save point. A Lumina takes you back to that memory file in your mind where all the Saturdays go. And some of the saves have been corrupted, but in the what-if of your mind, you get another chance to step out of that dressing room and say, "Okay, Mom, how do I look?"
In my family since age 4, but it's not my car because I'm grown. Oh, I want a Chevy of my own. Buy clothes today, we're stuck at Sears or Boscov's in the local mall. My mom won't let me